As a mother, wherever you live in the world, it is a natural instinct to feed and protect your children. For Morsheda living in Bangladesh, it's a daily battle.
Water came in from all directions. Slowly, slowly, the floodwater rose up to our beds. Now it's difficult to live here. It's terrible. We cannot stay here. If the floodwater shuts the door, I'm scared we won't be able to get out. The water could rise up to the children's faces and drown them.
Over 5 million people live on silt islands off the mainland known as chars. These islands, created by sediment from the Brahmaputra River, are at constant risk of river erosion and flooding.
The river is like the angel of death. It destroys everything. It leaves nothing untouched.
4 times our home collapsed and the land underneath washed away. 4 times our home went.
In one of the most densely populated and disaster-prone countries in the world, the chars provide a precarious homeland for the poorest of the poor, those with nowhere else to live. With no infrastructure or government services, women like Morsheda live a life of chronic insecurity.
I can't cry in front of my children. I cry secretly so they don't see me. Any mother would understand the pain in my heart.
Flooding here is often extreme. Life by the water's edge is never safe. The river is a murky, filthy breeding ground for diseases, insects and snakes, and climate change is wreaking havoc here. Morsheda and her children have faced a dangerous ordeal, time and again.
My son was asleep on the bed when I heard a splash. I saw ripples on the water, so I knew he'd fallen in. I ran to drag him out of the water. If I hadn't, he would have died.
Morsheda earns as little as 74 pence a day in order to feed her children 1 meal a day. But no matter how hard she toils, her hopes are swept away by constant floods. It is possible to help Morsheda begin a new life. Christian Aid and its partner GUK have been providing vital support to people here. 4 years ago, Feroza and her husband were suffering similar chronic hardship, but their lives have been transformed.
As a result of Christian Aid's help, our lives have changed for the better. I feel so much happiness because this help has transformed our lives. Please take this message of thanks home with you.
Feroza was given a home safety package by Christian Aid, a small grant to buy livestock and seeds, and, most crucially, the resources to raise the level of her land so that her home stands above the water. Today, despite desperate flooding, her family and her home stay safe.
Now we are wealthy. We don't suffer, but our neighbours starve and die in the floods.
Years ago, her husband had to work on the mainland for weeks on end, barely managing to survive or support his family. But today, life is very different.
I would work hard all day, but worrying about my family kept me awake all night. Now I don't have any of that worry, and my life is full of enjoyment.
I don't feel sad anymore for me and my family, but I feel devastated for my neighbours who've been left with nothing. I ask for help so that my neighbours' homesteads can be raised up like mine.
Feroza lives close to Morsheda, but their worlds are far apart. Whilst Feroza is thriving, Morsheda still lives in fear for her home and her family.
I pray to God, don't put us in such a difficult position by making us move from one place to another, because there's no greater pain than this. Those of us who have no help, we suffer the greatest pain.
Help us to raise Morsheda's home before the next flood strikes.